Hello, my name's David Day. I first came to Cumbria in 1971, and there were still rumours around that there had been a missing gem in Ennerdale, a really good pub called the Anglers. And I walked around here quite a lot, but of course there's no sign of it, and I understood that as the pressing plan was to flood the lake, then it would have to go. So it went, and no more water flooded the lake. When Dave Camlin started Merry Neets again at the Gather at Ennerdale, I thought I should look up some of the background of Merry Neet, so I'd like to share some words I've found. This is about Merry Neets, Cumberland Neets, Shepherd's Meat and boon clippings. For centuries, folk in rural Cumberland enjoyed a get-together, an evening's gathering to have fun and celebrate their community. The Merry Neet was the archetypal Cumberland entertainment. Only a few accounts of such evenings survive, but they do give us a flavour. Writing in the early 1800s, Joly described a common Merry Neet as a dance organised by a publican for commercial gain during the Christmas holidays, attended by numerous companies of lads and lasses, providing an evening in which every Cumbrian peasant refuses to be governed by the cold and the niggardly maxims of economy and thrift. The most famous Merry Neet was described by Robert Anderson, known as the Cumberland Bard, in his Blackall Merry Neet. The opening verse sets the scene. "Aye, lad, such a merry neet we had at Blackall. The sound of the fiddle yet rings in ear. All reek clipped and heeled with the lads and lasses, and many a cleverly shizzy was there. The bettermer sort sat snug in parlour. In the pantry the sweethearters cuttered sae soft. The dancers they kicked up a stir in the kitchen. At lantern the card lakers sat in the loft." Cumberland Nights began again as a revival of custom in Carlisle in 1933, with an entertainment to mark the centenary of the death of the Carlisle poet and songwriter Robert Anderson, 1770 to 1833. And they met at Carlisle's Pageant Hall. A centenary celebration committee organised the event, at which many notable county figures were present, including representatives of the Cumberland and Westmoreland societies and associations, doctors, colonels and descendants of the Bard. Another poet and songwriter famous in Georgian times was Susanna Blumeyer, 1747 to 1794, who also had a passion for dancing, so much so that it was said if she met travelling musicians on the road, she would dismount and dance a jig or a hornpipe. After her death at the age of just 47, it was said that locals missed Miss Suki's lively and friendly company at Merry Neets, which wouldn't be worth going till at all, and now she's gone. She was known to perform her songs all over, which achieved some acclaim, 3 being set by Haydn. In 1960, another revival, the Lakeland Dialect Society organised a Cumberland Neet party in Workington in aid of charity, featuring a Cumberland tatey pot sutter, followed by a bit of real Cumberland entertainment with plenty of singing and music, hunting songs, comic songs, dialect Cumberland tales, and lots of funs with lasses and lassies free Carlisle, Workington, Cockermouth, Lamplugh and all round about. About sheep clippings or shearings, however, more has been written. This is one of the most important festivals of the Cumberland farming year, particularly the boon clippings, in which neighbouring fell farmers combine to get the shearing of whole flocks done more efficiently, followed by ale, food, sports and dancing late into the night. William Dickinson's poem about the farming year in the early 19th century describes how the feast always ended with song. And somebody knuckles on table before, he says, "Lads, you must join in me sang. Here's a good health to the man of this house, the man of this house, the man of this house. Here's a good health to the man of this house, for he is a right honest man." Dickinson wrote that the song is a very old clipping song, which became an ever more raucous drinking game, usually followed by such traditional songs as "O Good Ale, Thou Art My Darling," "The Raven and the Rock Starling," and "Tarry Woo." When the shepherds sang these old songs, they liked them best pure, that's to say, without accompaniment. John Richardson wrote in 1871, "At the sheep shearings, or clippings as they're called, which are attended almost exclusively by country people, although the proceedings are characterised by the utmost hospitality, cheerfulness and good fellowship, they are now conducted with the strictest propriety. The author can remember being at clippings where the proceedings were of the most brutal and indecent description, when persons were compelled to drink, even against their wills, till they became totally helpless, and when the songs sung were at the most obscene and disgusting kind. Indeed, in those days a song was no song at all at a clipping if it had not, as they used to call it, a strippet blue in it. But at the present day, although song singing is a favourite part of the entertainment, there is very rarely anything sung that the most modest female needs to blush to hear. Perhaps the most famous poet who wrote of merry neets was John Keats, who after a walking holiday in Scotland came down into Cumberland in 1818. The dances in Ireby astonished Keats with their energy. They kick it and jump it with mettle extraordinary, and whisk it and frisk it and tow it and toad it, and twirled it and whirled it and stamped it and sweated it, tattooing the floor like mad. The difference between our country dances and these dance figures is about the same as leisurely stirring a cup of tea and beating up a batter pudding. I am indebted to Sue Allan for the original research from her folk song in Cumbria. Thank you.